Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Point Fighter Live. You have me, Mike Pombero, and
Jason Tanks and Bourelly. What's up, y'all?
what's up, guys? Welcome. How's everybody doing this weekend? We got Halloween coming up. We're
Right.
trying to get all the kinks and bugs out of our show. Hopefully, we can try to go through without any problems. But, anyways, I was talking to you earlier about what was going on in your area, Jason.
Yeah,
Fortunate things going on everywhere. We got fires going on over here in California.
yeah,
I know you guys got some looting, some rioting, but also
yeah,
some you know good citizens, positive citizens that are
yeah,
for a positive thing.
yeah. That's what we try to. That's what I try to look for. I try to look for, what's the lesson? What are we supposed to learn from all of this? Because there's always something that we're supposed to learn. And I'm trying to encourage people. This weekend it's going to be. Listen, it's Halloween. It's on a full moon. The first time Halloween's had a full moon since 1944. I looked that up. I thought that was pretty cool, but not a reason to act up, man. This Halloween. It's a good time to practice. Silence and center yourself. Have fun. Maybe people will some people will get out and do some things, but man, what a weekend to maybe have some silence, have some peace and some quiet. Maybe take a couple days and with all the craziness going on and elections coming up and all that stuff. We have to make sure that we're not just being emotionally driven, and that we're you know uh, um, we might sometimes have to turn the TV off and just appreciate the silence and
Well,
just center ourselves.
you made a good point. Elections are coming up, so make your voice heard. It's one thing to complain, but if you don't do anything about it, you don't really have the right to complain. So, you know,
Yeah,
and
that's it. That's it. The people out. A lot of people out in the streets for the reasons that they feel are everyone feels like they're right, but are they going to show up and do what they can, what they really have control over, and that's showing up to vote. But just the violence and the looting and the anger, it's not helping us right now. Let's kind of and let's appreciate some silence and let's try to love and let's try to feel good this weekend, and let's try to appreciate the things that are going well, the things that we have, the fact that we wake up in the morning and the sun is shining on our face and not our grave.
yeah, no, I agree. I think a lot of people are out there trying to put that word out there, and there's obviously been a lot of racial tension going on everywhere, and there's a few bad apples that spoil the bunch. When I see out there is I see a few people that see an opportunity where there's a lot of people there. You can wear masks. There's an abundance of people, and what better than to go and be a thief and cause a ruckus when there's so much mayhem and so hard to, or easy, I should say, to cover up and not really be exposed and try to get away with stuff. And it's unfortunate because what they're doing is they're taking off the light off of what a lot of other good people are trying to portray and push forward a good message. I think one of the things that I think, being a martial artist, and it's funny because I have a kid and you have a kid, and I'm sure you get stuck watching a lot of kid shows. And I watched the movie while back, few months, Spy in Disguise with Will Smith. And they had this one kid that when he was growing up, he was an inventor. He was into creating things, but he wanted to create something that was non-lethal, non-violent. And what's funny is that I feel like there's a pretty good message there, and I think that this guy was trying to say something. I mean, we got all these engineers, when you got all these people, why not make something that's non-lethal? And I don't mean tasers, because I mean I've seen people get tased, they locked up, and then they fall flat. crack their head. Rubber bullets. I've seen people get shot in the face. I feel like on purpose. So I mean, to me, if there's like kind of like a dog whistle, if there's some kind of siren that can just so loud that makes people just can't even move, or if there's a way to get some kind of sticky, like quick drying glue where you just shoot at people's feet so they can't come running at you if they do have a knife. That way you don't have to do anything lethal and kill people. I mean, you don't know what people's state are. These people could be on meds. They could have some mental problems. There could be a lot of other things, but you don't find out till the end. And then on the other hand, what an easy way to handle a situation. You know, sometimes that's not the best way to handle a situation. Sometimes you got to do it the tough way. And I don't think just shooting somebody and then asking questions later when someone's dead. I mean, or trying to put the pieces together. So, anyways, I don't want to make it about that, but I did want to mention it because obviously I know that you live over there. I know it's something that's going on. We got fire going on over here, and you know, we still got COVID going on, which is crazy. And talking about COVID, you know, we got an event that just happened this past weekend, IMAF, International Martial Arts Festival. I want to say David Scalard and Jeremy Roquet, I believe, were the promoters. Usually this event's on ESPN3. It's usually a really big event. They went virtual for forms and I believe weapons. And I believe they decided to go ahead and have the fighting there in Florida. I'm not too sure where the event was at, but there was a lot of good fights. A lot of, even though there wasn't per se national type numbers where there was hundreds of people. I mean, some of the fights that I saw John Carutolo. I always kill his name, man. I apologize, John. I kill your name, man. Sorry.
I think that sounds about. I say John Curatolo, but I don't know if I'm correct either. I'm going to butcher a lot of names today because there's some hard names on our on our plate.
He fought Tobias, he fought God, and he fought Kevin Walker. So he had some good fights. They're all online. Make sure you check them out. I know that Alex Reyes put them on Fighter Live. Another guy that I saw come back that I haven't seen in a while was Henry Ruiz. He's another guy that I remember. I went to Guatemala a long time ago and met him. Really good guy, good competitor. Happy to see him back. Hopefully we'll see a lot more of him. And I heard nothing but good things about this tournament. I heard the way they ran it, the way they segregated everybody, the way they announced everybody, got everybody on the thing. You know, I'm kind of jealous. I want to say tournament, I'm kind of jealous the fact that Florida has such a great circuit and has such a great thing going on. I know that you came and visited California out here for a little bit, and the California circuit at one time, and I believe at that time, was still okay. Northern Cal has the league. They have some pretty good stuff going on up there with Dumlau, Cattengale, Junior, a lot of those guys up there. They got a lot of events. Down here in SoCal, though, isn't the same as it used to be. I remember back when I first came here, there was a lot of events, a lot of tough events, and a lot of great places for me to get ready for bigger competition on a national level. I wouldn't say that now. But in Florida, what Jeremy Roquet is doing down there, man, I got to give that guy kudos. NASCA, maybe you guys got to hire him to help out, not only just promote the tournaments, but maybe figure out what this guy's doing so well, because every time I watch his event, the way it's ran, all the competitors, it seems to me, he makes it real simple. He caters to the competitors. And what I see is that once you go, you're hooked, you have a great time, and it's great competition. I mean, have you seen the Florida scene and what's going on down there? What do you think about it?
Yeah, it seems as though even in the midst of the pandemic, that they've taken the lead, maybe even, Georgia and Florida, and, the South, in some ways, they've kind of taken the lead in getting back out there with the events and actually, you know, giving it a try and seeing if people would you know, be comfortable with coming and competing with everything going on, and I'm sure that they had to you know, be in tune with all of the different rules that you know, when people open and they have big events, they have to follow a lot of different you know, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and you don't know what the turnout's going to be like, because you don't know how comfortable people are with getting out and traveling yet. But they kind of taken the lead in terms of, you know, keeping sport karate alive during this in terms of being in person, not the virtual stuff, but actually giving it a try. You know, they took some chances. They took the risk of you know, renting the hall and organizing the event. And I'm sure they didn't know, you know, what the response was going to be, but people love martial arts, and you know, our community, the martial arts community as a whole, they've come together and kept karate alive, you know. So yeah, they're very busy down in Florida. I see there's events, like it seems like there's a lot lined up, whereas in other places they're not quite sure what their next step is going to be. So, you know, maybe in that respect, they've kind of taken the lead for this new day.
Well, I look at Florida like a good little farm league to get you ready for the national events. They have some good competitors themselves, and you know, Team Legends got a lot of those guys. You know, we've talked about in previous shows. They got Rashad Eugene down there. They got John, we just talked about, that's doing real good everywhere. Tobias visiting, but Kevin, he's all over the place.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's busy. He's been really busy.
Georgia's not too far. What's the other one that we just talked about the other day? Ronald, Georgia's not too far over there.
Right.
I mean, you know, they're all pretty close. And like I said, the events down there seem to be very well run, catered for the competitors, and I see nothing but good things. And I hope that someday we can do that here in California. Maybe I'll have to talk to these guys and maybe take the lead, because I missed that. But you know,
it's like, you know, it's tough. Like, even, you know, you had Chicago had a very, you know, deep scene, and Detroit and a lot of different states or cities had really tough, you know, sport karate scenes. But it seems like a lot more people now are going the national route. It seems like there's not a lot of local tournament circuits, not anywhere near how there used to be. So people are kind of under the impression that if they want some competition, that they need to, you know, see what's out there. People even go, I mean, more people are going even international, overseas and stuff like that than I've ever seen. So, you know, maybe it's just that time where it's kind of tough to have a local scene. Florida is a big state, and you know, they're all over there. California as well, but maybe North and Southern California kind of do their own thing sometimes. But yeah, it's just, I think it's just a sign of the times. And can I ask you a question, Mr. Pombero? Where's your Halloween costume?
Hey man,
you told me that you hot. Yeah, I tried to come and be a part of the. I didn't want to be a party pooper. I was trying to be a good sport.
You got there? What is that, man? What you got?
Now I'm feeling some kind of way with this. I was just trying, you know. I said, you know, I was trying to be a sport.
Are you trying to be your son right now? Because you got your son's hair right now.
That's right. I'm a Lakers fan. I'm a LA fan. So with the pandemic and everything, all this crazy stuff going on, how has winning the NBA championship and winning the Major League Baseball championship, I mean, what does that do to the environment? Do people feel better? Is the morale, is the good feeling kind of, you know, is that promoting good feeling that, you know, you all are champions? And is it kind of taken, I don't know. I don't know if you get that feeling or not. Is it kind of like some light at the end of the tunnel when, you know, your sports team wins the championship, you know?
It's a couple of things because, definitely here people are excited. We're excited. I mean, I'm excited to finally see LA win a championship. It's been a good, 10 years at least, since Kobe did his thing. And then before that, Kobe and Shaq. I'm a big LeBron fan. I know a lot of people either love or hate him, but I mean, he does a lot of good things. He speaks his mind. He's one of
Yeah.
those guys that stands up for a lot of topics that I feel that people should, if they can, in that position. I know a lot of people don't like him for it. That's kind of one of the things that kind of bothered me. I've noticed that because these guys, the basketball, talking about NBA with the Black Lives Matter, I've noticed that, maybe because they're pushing that, it almost feels like you see a lot of people kind of like falling back. That
Right.
football, I don't know if you noticed the ratings have been down.
Right.
But, for me, I'm a big LeBron fan. I'm a fan about, with all that type of stuff. But then after winning the championship, you got COVID right now. You got no parades. So, it's good and bad. I mean, we're happy,
Yeah.
but I also feel like people are like, they won it during the COVID year. It doesn't count. Like there's an asterisk. So those guys, I feel like are going to have to come back again. Then you got players that, we're hearing that Rajon Rondo wants to go to the Clippers. So, you got to worry about next year and all this type of stuff. But I mean, again, we're happy that Lakers won. I'm a big LeBron fan. I think he does a lot of great things for his community, his people, everybody across the board.
Yeah.
I like that the NBA stepped up and decided to do, support Black Lives Matter and have them on their shirts. I see nothing wrong with that. Football, when they did the African American national anthem for the first week, everybody kind of joined, locked arms. I thought that was also great. Nothing wrong with that. Baseball, we're happy for the Dodgers winning the championship. Of course, right now we got the Justin Turner controversy. I don't know if you heard about that. Him having COVID and then jumping back in and taking pictures with everybody.
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a touchy subject because I mean, you let him play, right? You let him play, but then with the picture, you don't want him to take pictures. But I also get it because it's like, well, I take it from this aspect. If you're the one that's healthy and you want to decide to put yourself in harm's way, you have that decision. But I think once you're the one that's infected and you're the one that can actually harm others without their choice, I don't feel that you're in the right. So I'm kind of standing with the people that are against him and feeling that he shouldn't have jumped in the picture. I also heard that he was sitting next to a guy that I think had cancer and recovered from it. So, obviously he could be at risk. So, I mean, I understand, hey, you want to be in the picture for the World Series championship, but it doesn't take away that you won. You're going to get the ring.
Right.
You won't get to say it. Unfortunately, you had COVID, but hey, maybe you can run it up again when it's following year when you get your ring. Everybody, let's do the picture again because obviously during the COVID we couldn't do it right. We got a picture for them, but let's redo the picture or something. I just think I just feel that he should have done the right thing with everything going on and not been selfish. But again, we're happy for the Dodgers winning. It's funny that after the Dodgers won, as soon as they won, it was like 4th of July outside. I live in a pretty nice area, but Long Beach is around. And I mean, I was hearing fireworks for like 2 or 3 hours for the rest of the night. But luckily, because of COVID, it wasn't too many crowds out there, too much craziness. Right. But again, it's we didn't get to celebrate like we would have, but I'm happy for the Lakers. And you asked about my Halloween outfit. You're looking like JJ. So my kid,
nice.
My kid likes a gamer by the name of, if you can see it right here, Ninja, right? So nice. my question is, do you like the hair slick back, or would you prefer I go al natural, kind of like a troll?
Like yeah, like that. It's natural. We got to be natural. I think that, talking about being natural, it's kind of like, we're fighters and we're competitors, and we're past that. We already learned that that tough ain't enough. That there's there's sometimes we want to kind of prove that we're right, or we want to, not back down. And it's interesting. You talk about the player that had COVID, and then he was around. He wasn't aware. He didn't have the consideration or he didn't think about how others might even just feel, if they feel afraid or anything. I think that a lot of people these days are afraid, and you and I learned how to deal with fear as professional fighters. We learned how, if we're angry or if we're not in control, if we're following the crowd, which is a total different way of thinking. When we're part of a big group, we don't even think the same. You and I have been there over and over again, checking ourselves. They tell you check your ego at the door when you come into the dojo, right? But we know what tough is. We know what strong is. We know what courage is. But even sometimes we can be, we can all be insecure, and we can all let anger or let certain emotions kind of take over, or even just that ego and that I'm right, and no one can tell me what to do. So it's no secret, nobody likes to be told what to do, and that has become like it's like this shield that people think, that this is going to protect them from something, maybe not being a punk or something like, I don't know what it is. But no one wants to be told what to do. And we're so, the things are so divided in a way that no one budges. And we've forgotten, collectively what one of the things that makes us human, and that makes us, that gives us that feeling of life. Life is good. We get up the next day and we have another chance, and we get to grow because we get to learn from our mistakes. And the only way we can get better, the only way we can become great, just like, we know as martial artists, is being critical of ourselves, so looking at ourselves and saying, well, I feel a certain way about these people, but let me look at myself and figure out if I have my stuff together. And that's something I'm in control of. I can really control how I behave. I can learn how to think in a productive manner. Have a healthy thought process. I can learn about how my mind works, and how how there's how I can create coherence in my life and around me, so that things are smoother for me. And in turn, that same kind of that same thought process, it helps. It can help us collectively. Are we looking at other people and trying to prove them wrong, so much that we're forgetting to grow, and we're forgetting to be critical of ourselves, and to learn, and to try to find coherence, some harmony. And people think that's just a dream, like, oh, harmony, but coherence, you have this, they're on two opposite sides. That's what Tai Chi is all about, yin yang, right? You have these polar opposites, but then you have harmony. And as a fighter, we know what that's all about. There's some things that we do very naturally that we love and that we really believe in, and this is how I do it. But the whole lesson is in gaining awareness of the other side of what don't I have? What don't I understand? What am I not getting? What's not smooth? What am I missing? And as a martial artist, it's like for the rest of our lives, we're trying to figure it out, right? We're always going forward. We're always growing. We stop getting belts, but we're always moving up in rank. So I just I think that that's one thing. Whether it's Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter. I wonder if they will both come out and say, I wonder if Blue Lives Matter would say Black Lives Matter too, and Black Lives Matter would say Blue Lives Matter too, and get this this play on language and all this nonsense, where we're turning into younger versions of ourselves. In terms of we're not evolving in the direction we're supposed to. I think that sensitivity, everybody wants to be, but sensitivity is the other side of it. Control is not just doing dynamic things, but it's also sometimes slowing things down. And we just need some balance. So as martial artists, I think that we get it. Maybe I don't want to wear a mask, but I'm going to wear it if it makes people comfortable, especially if the whole country or half of the country is comfortable when people are wearing masks because they feel that this is benefiting us. If it's benefiting us, it's benefiting us. I don't have to. And if I don't want to wear the mask where they require me to wear a mask, I won't go there. Particularly, I don't like wearing a mask, but I have no problem. I don't have to curse somebody out and punch them in the face because they tell me to put a mask on. I don't think that it's an attack on my my spirit, on my soul.
Yeah, like you said, I don't think the mask is so much for you as the person. It's more you showing that you respect others' wishes, and that's also showing part of being a human being and respecting other people for whatever it is that we don't understand, their background, what they come from. Me, listen, I'm from a small town. I'm from Nashville, New Hampshire. My parents are from Portugal. They're from a country miles away. When I was brought up, I'm not gonna lie, I got a little bit of the what are they saying, the white privilege, because obviously I'm light skinned. A lot of people thought I was white, growing up, but I spoke Portuguese. I didn't speak English really well, so I was an ESL. So I got picked on. That's what kind of got me into karate. And it's funny, if people just got to know me, eventually they thought I was really cool. But I mean, we all go in there with these kind of weird thoughts of what and it has a lot to do with our environment and how we're brought up. And, it's just unfortunate that we all just can't just sit down, listen to one another and do things. And everybody, like you said, rather than sit there and not use emotions, listen to people and just communicate with people. Everybody just wants to, okay, are you done yet? And then just start attacking and start going off.
Yeah.
But hopefully, like I said, after this election, things go in the right direction. I'm not trying to sway anybody anyway, but I will say the last 4 years I feel have been some of the most aggressive years for everybody, where I feel like it's been the most tension. People have had the most conflict with each other, and also felt some kind of validity where they can speak their mind, even if they're just letting out hatred, which I feel like, hey, if that's what you're doing, save it for somebody else. You know what I mean? If it's not positive, save it for somebody else. Go move to the desert and get away from everybody and live that American dream. Hey, but so I don't want to make it all about politics. We talked about so far about a nice event that we had this past weekend in Florida. We talked about the Lakers. We talked about the Dodgers. We don't want to forget also of this young man that we used to fight with, and we had him on our show, Virtual Fight Tour 3, segment 3. This guy is, man, he just doesn't stop. We just talked about number 2 recently. He had one right before that, and he's already on 3, and 4 I think is already planned. So you got to give it to Jesse, man. He's the pan's hot, and he's keeping it going. And I mean, not only that, he just keeps putting fire together. He's got some team fight coming up on the next one with, I believe, Robbie and Kevin Walker against. Do you remember? Help me out. It was against.
I don't know about the team fight. I didn't know about it yet.
Can't think about it. We'll have to get him on here eventually to talk about it. But let's talk about what happened this weekend, where virtual fight tour. And before I talk about that, I also want to give a shout out to this guy. He used to be on the team with me, Paul Mitchell, Jackson Rudolph. I want to thank him, just like I want to thank people like from Raymond Daniels, Ross Levine, Michael Page, these guys that are crossing over, not forgetting their roots, dropping, that the fact that they came from sport karate.
Yeah.
Jack Rudolph has been helping putting us on the map. I remember Black Belt Magazine back when I was competing. I had a lot of guys, Doug Churchill, Doug Jeffries, a lot of guys that would hit me up, and I would do a lot of articles. So I was very busy doing stuff for them.
You were competitor of the year, weren't you?
I did. I was fortunate enough to receive. To me, that is the only Hall of Fame that matters. I think any other Hall of Fame, I'm not saying it's bogus, but if I got to pay, I got to show up at a banquet. I didn't have to do any of that. Black Belt contacted me, and they put me in a magazine. On top of it, I was in there with some greats. Yeah, I have to say, if you ever get a Black Belt Hall of Fame, which I know a couple of karate guys that have done it, that's the one to get. But
yes,
Black Belt Magazine has kind of stepped away from the sport karate world and has been doing a lot of BJJ and MMA. And now Jackson Rudolph, thanks to him, he's been kind of working his way into Black Belt Magazine. Really smart, sharp kid, college grad. This kid's, not only talented, but really smart. And this guy's doing a lot of now writing.
Yeah.
He's writing a lot of columns and different types of press for a lot of the things that are going on right now. The virtual fight tour, the point fighting that we did just recently, the professional fighting. So we got to thank him because, besides us trying to do what we're doing here, he's on a bigger platform. Black Belt Magazine obviously has been around for years. They're very reputable. Not saying that, we're trying to get our reputation. We've only been here 5-6 episodes, I believe. But these guys, I remember I was a kid looking at Black Belt magazines going, wow, checking out some of the guys that were doing the PKL back then, the 10 top best fighters, that were able to go to all these tournaments and get sponsored. So I got to give it to Jackson Rudolph, man. He's
doing the right thing too, because these guys that he's covering, they're keeping karate alive. You know what I mean? During these times, they've been innovative. They've lit a fire underneath. All these competitors want to come back. Even people who haven't been competing, they want to come back and do these new things. This is the future, and he's doing a great job at including these brilliant minds, these creative minds that we've always had, but they don't give us no love because we don't knock people out all the time, and maybe the world is due for a little bit of control. That's what we're trying to demonstrate with our sport, and I love it all, but I do love the new, these new ideas that between Jesse and Pro Point. Everybody, I got people that are saying they want to come back and fight. People who are retired, who haven't thought about competing. They want to come and do the new thing, So I want to do the new thing,
And they're both very different. Virtual Fight Tour, kind of their format and how they do it, as well as the Pro Point. But again, they're both very exciting in their own way. And I like that they have different avenues for different people that like to try different things. And people don't care. They'll fight different. Prove they can do both. It doesn't matter what the rules are. But Jackson, man, he flips these over. The events that day, and I'm already seeing the article like that night or the following day. This kid, he's
Forms and Weapons champion, and it's not usual. Usually Forms and Weapons champions cover Forms and Weapons. That's what they enjoy, and they know a lot about. The competition there. It's their expertise. But he's been really getting familiar with the fighters and the history. I mean, he did an article about the history of the Diamond Nationals, the fighters. I mean, that was great. That was brilliant. By the way, the Diamond National Hall of Fame is up there too. Not a lot of fighters are in that Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no.
I'm one of them. I'm one of the only fighters that made it. Usually, there's a lot of forms competitors from our era. But from the 80s, there's a lot of fighters, not a lot of fighters from our era.
Yeah.
But I thought that was brilliant. I think that's a tournament, that the world should know about. Everybody should know about the Diamond Nationals. What a brilliant production. But the world will know. Jesse, people like Jesse, he's getting it popping. I mean, we're gonna see something new. 2021 is going to maybe be sport karate's biggest year. That's what I see.
Jackson has his own show. I believe he just interviewed Alex recently. I like to watch Jackson. He's really well spoken, and he's actually a point fighting fan. He tells me that he does support other form competitors because obviously their loyalty and how they do enjoy watching. Plus, you got to watch your competition, but he really likes to go and watch the fighting after. He said that's one of his favorite stuff, and it's funny because I hear him bring up a lot of past point fighting events, and he knows his stuff. I got to give him some props. Well, he's a martial champion, not a partial artist, so
yeah. He's got a lot of fight in his form, He's got a lot of fight in there. So I don't know if you saw. I didn't see the first fight at the virtual tour event. This was number 3 in Texas. I didn't see the first fight, so I can't really comment on it. I believe Tyson Ray won.
Guess what? I'm using Jackson Rudolph right here. I'm cheating because I also did not see that fight. I have to apologize, but yeah, it was Jesse Ray's son. Basically, that's Tyson Ray, and he fought this native Manuel Hernandez. And from the looks of it, it looks like Manuel Hernandez got off to a good start. He was up a little bit in the first round. Then second round, I believe that Tyson started coming back. And then after that, he was up, I believe, by the second round by 3 points. And then by the last round, he just continued to use the ring, stay countering. And then when he saw the opportunity, attack, and he built the lead up to 6 points. So, I mean, pretty much before watching that, I've seen Tyson, his dad. I mean, he comes from a lineage. He has a lot of killers over there. He's got a lot of great people to train him. But besides that, I don't want to, because you have great people around you, you have to step up your game. Mm-hmm. And the kid, I mean, he works hard. It's obvious. You look at him, he's in great shape. You can tell the way he moves, he's athletic. And you don't get athletic naturally. I mean, you got to hustle a little bit. So he definitely did what I thought he was going to do. But I got to give the other guy props too. He put up a good fight. So, I mean, in Texas, things big over there, and they're tough over there. So you got to represent.
Yeah.
The next match, though, was Jason Latona against Alex Mancias.
Yeah, that was interesting, huh? The whole night was interesting. But that was interesting. I mean, it was I don't know, it was one of those where you thought, I thought that there were a lot of delays during this fight. And maybe in the future, just like in anything when it's starting out, there need to be some penalties for certain delays. So there were a lot of delays with as far as Jason. Jason was I don't know if his foot was hurt or I don't know what was going on. I don't know him. I just from what his competition said, what his opponent said, Alex said that he does that. That's part of his strategy. I know fighters that do that. I don't know if that was the case that day, but there were a lot of delays, and it ended up being a close fight. And it appeared that Alex was the one in control of the fight, but he didn't end up winning the fight. So, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, these guys are back and forth. These guys have fought back and forth. They know each other very well, and I agree with you. It makes it very non-spectator friendly when people listen, we're karate guys. We're tough. I mean, we get hurt, we roll an ankle, but get back up. We're going to talk about this a little bit next about UFC, but we talked about it earlier with Jeremy Cannonier against what was the ex-champ that won? Help me out.
You're talking about Robert Whitaker.
Robert Whitaker. So I don't know if you heard, they have an X-ray of Jared Cannonier. This guy got his arm broken, kind of like the time when we talked about on our first show when you spin back kick and you broke Billy Bryce's arm all the way through, right?
I got mine broken too, Mike. Douglas Lima broke my arm with a roundhouse kick in the first round of a full contact fight. And, you know, I finished and won that fight, but only on instinct because I don't remember the fight. I think I was in shock.
The crazy thing is that Cannonier, even though he lost the fight, he had that arm broken in the first round. I think that's why we noticed that he wasn't as active. He did throw the punch, but he didn't throw it as often as he had in the past, and he did a lot of sitting. But, I mean, that guy fought through that. I mean, and don't get me wrong, he would have bowed out. I still would have gave him props because the fact that you got your arm broken, I totally get it. But, I mean, if you twist an ankle, you do this or do that, it just doesn't look good for us. And I'm not ripping on Jason. I'm just saying as a competitor and as a spectator, I understand as a competitor, this, that, but you know what, guys? You got to shake it off, dust it off, get off the mat. I mean, you got guys that are in boxing, they get dusted with a punch. They got 10 seconds to shake it off and continue the fight or it's over. And I understand it's different. We're doing points, but I mean, we need to be more athletic and better at how we land. And if we're evading where we're not defending and we're running and turning and we're getting hurt, I mean, maybe you're not doing karate to your best ability because if you were in the street and you did that and then you fell, there is no timeout. You're getting stomped on. And I know this is not the street. And I don't want to compare that. But again, spectator friendly, man. You want people to watch us. No one wants to sit there and watch a 4-minute match turn into, you look at it all of a sudden before you load it and it says 10, 15 minutes. And you're like, wait, I thought it was only 2-minute rounds. You don't want to watch that. You know what I mean?
It's that whole like coherence thing. It's like, so the way that we train for tournaments, the way we train for point fighting now, it's different than how we practiced karate when we first got into it, you know, in terms of the practice of martial arts as a whole thing. Kind of, you know, it suffers, you know, it's like, the athleticism and, you know, everybody's so much faster and there's different skills and, you know, the game has changed and evolved in some ways that have made it better. But at the expense of some of the things that made the practice whole. So, I mean, these guys in the UFC, their conditioning, it's, you know, it's all about the nervous system. Their conditioning is so, it's so different than someone who is just practicing for point fighting. And that's what a lot of people have gotten in the habit of doing, just practicing for point fighting and not thinking about, well, is whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm practicing, you know, can this be translated into something that is of value beyond the point fight itself? Is there something that I'm getting from this more than just winning the tournament? And you know, that's one of the things when we were kids and we were on our knuckles for, you know, a half hour. I mean, you can't do that now. You know, so the things that they did in dojos then they can't do now. But there are still ways to get the message across that, you know, to win is okay, but you know, is this something that can you use this? Is this going to help you with life? You know, and I think that will further improve the quality of our sport when we're talking about pro point, when we're talking about you know, virtual fights. we're gonna get back because of these guys coming up with these new ideas, and they want our sport to thrive. It's gonna be spectator friendly. It's gonna be exciting if you see it as a whole thing. If you see that these guys, don't take breaks and they're not turning their back to the fight. It's just not how we've trained for the last 10, 15 years, turning the back and ducking and avoiding and doing certain things to as we tried to figure out how to make the sport better. There's certain things that certain habits we're going to have to break if we want to have the best the best product, or whatever you want to call it, the best way. There's going to be let's give some things back. Let's get back to some things that were important before, without losing the excitement and the dynamic movement and all that stuff. It's just a growing process, I think. Just like it's just a growing process. Yep.
So not to take away from their fight, but in the end, it ended up being, I believe, overtime. No, on that match.
Yeah.
It ended up being overtime, and I believe Latonia ended up winning the buzzer beater, if I'm not mistaken. It was a 1 minute overtime. He ended up winning by 1 point. And
yeah, I mean, they're both nice. They both got skills. I mean, they both are very good fighters. They're both champions. Obviously, that's why they were asked to do the fight. But it when certain things happen, and it may you have a pause, and you kind of get a little bit. You're trying to wonder what's going on. And then you might miss all the greatness, all the beauty,
And like I said, spectator friendly. You see that fight, and you're probably gonna look at the guy that's always staying on their feet and always going forward, probably as the winner, and the other guy that's always wanting to take timeouts. And that's just me. You want someone that's a non-martial artist. If they can't figure out who's winning, they're not going to get it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't play basketball. I don't play football, but I get it. I know the rules. I know when something happens, how it goes, and this. But watching karate, and also understanding that it's in the back of my mind, self-defense. For me to see someone kick or drop after you kick or run away and turn your back, like you said, it just doesn't. That in karate just doesn't make sense to me. Unless you're running away to avoid the fight and just not fight at all. And that's what we're doing. It's a sport. So you should.
I mean, those guys can adapt and do it. They can do it tomorrow. It's just not how they're used to training, because these set matches on pay-per-view, this is new for them. So having that in their mind, that they have to put on a show and be entertainers and show their character and all that stuff. That's new, and that's going to take some getting used to. But they can do it. They can do it. They're talented, so they can do it.
Well, they're also young kids, so I don't want to take it away from them. I believe they're both 17. They're not quite 18 yet, right? Am I not mistaken?
Yeah, I believe they're juniors, and they have very their skill level. It's very mature, Same with Tyson, his ring IQ. He was coaching. He was coaching the adults from his team. They're the next generation. Only thing we're doing is we want them to be millionaires. We want them to make some money with this sport. We want them to be professionals. We didn't get that chance in our 20s and in our teens and all that stuff. So we want that for them. So the only thing we're doing is just giving them a little bit of insight. But of course, they're able to do it. They're talented. They've gotten this far, and it's in them to sky's the limit. As long as they're willing to listen a little bit. We talked about that earlier with just the world today.
I gotta slick it back for a little bit.
That's nice. I can't slick mine back. It just keeps,
Hey, so
yeah.
So after that, we got Mr. I'm busy as all heck, Anthony Merricks, man. Didn't he just fight in the last one?
He did, and he I picked him. We both picked him to win, and he took a loss in the last virtual fight tour from Brandon
Wow.
Bilal,
Yep.
and Brandon was excellent, just like Jack. I mean, he definitely won that fight. He was, Anthony was not ready that day, but he redeemed himself this time. He came prepared. I think one of the biggest things he learned from the last one was how to work the rounds, and not give all of his energy in the first round. But that was a new lesson for Chris Robinson, who was dominating the fight in the beginning. I mean, he was dominating. I thought that the fight was going to be 20-10 the way it was going, but obviously the later rounds were unfamiliar territory for my teammate Chris Robinson. And he'll be back, and he'll learn from this experience, and he'll do better next time, just like Anthony did. What do you think?
No, I was gonna say the same thing. If it was a 2-minute match, Chris had him on lock. If this was a regular tournament, which is what we usually train for, I feel that Chris had him. But this wasn't that. This was several rounds, so you got time to make adjustments. Anthony did lose the last time, but when I watch Anthony, he's funny. He gets in these lulls where sometimes he's a slow starter. Sometimes the same thing. He'll expend a lot of energy, and then it almost like maybe his cardio isn't up to snuff, so he takes a little bit of a break, and then all of a sudden he starts bouncing back. So I'll see him kind of get scored on a lot, and then all of a sudden he'll come back and go on runs, and that's kind of what happened here. But I agree with you. The problem is that when Anthony went on his run, it seemed that Chris was also kind of getting tired and kind of, going the opposite way instead of going, man, I gotta do whatever I can to stop the momentum. Instead, he was just so tired that he just kind of let Anthony get up. And then once he was up and you're tired, it's hard to get up.
Yeah.
Especially if you got someone like Anthony that can move around, can mix it up, he can blitz, he can kick. And he's been around. He's got a lot of great people. But I thought Chris had a good showing. He had it in the bag first round for sure. Second round, he was doing pretty good. And then all of a sudden, Ant came on that little bit of that run. And it just seemed like he never looked back after that. And after that, Chris was pretty much playing chase. Right. Just couldn't catch up. So
yeah. It was it was an interesting match, but a good one nevertheless. Our next one was Willie Hicks and Vito Rodriguez, and that one we didn't get to see the completion of that because Willie got hurt. I don't know. I believe his shoulder. He had a shoulder injury.
It happened so fast, and at the same time, both kind of clash, and then you see bodies go everywhere, and you never know how people are going to land.
Yeah,
Willie's a tough guy too. He's from Richard Plowden. He's from Detroit. People forget because he's been in Texas so long.
Yeah.
NBL guy, also did NASCAR, fought with Impacts, fought with a lot of NBL teams. I think he's one of those guys.
One of my favorite fighters. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people remember him mostly because he did a lot of NBL. But I mean, he's a smaller guy. I want to say he's light middleweight. I know he's fought Ray. I know he's beaten Ray. Yeah. I know that when they fight teams, he fights Ray really good. So the guy to help neutralize. Yeah. So I mean, really tight. And for me, I thought Willie was going to run away with this.
Yeah.
Again, accidents happen. He got injured, and in the situation, I really feel they made the right choice. I mean, he was down at the time. What do you do? The only thing you can do now is have these guys rematch again.
Yeah.
But I think, whatever they did right there last minute was a good decision.
Yeah.
But no one tried to hurt anybody. Accidents happen. I mean, it happens in the dojo. I've clashed heads before. I had to go get stitches.
Yeah.
Blocked with elbows. I've gotten my heel blocked with elbows.
Yeah.
Accidents happen. No one's trying to maliciously hurt anybody. It didn't look like that.
Yeah.
The way the score was, I agree with that rule. And there's the first one for Texas.
Yeah, they were both very emotional after that. Willie was emotional first, and then during the interview, Vito got very emotional, thinking about his preparation, and I believe it was his wife he was thanking, and both of them, I'm sure, a lot of that emotion was they already done the work, they prepared. Those were two fighters that came prepared, and this was supposed to just be the show, and that's tough. So I can see from the reaction afterwards that it was tough to do that bow out, that they came ready to fight, and I think that we'll get to see that again.
Yeah, no, it was disappointment, and I think the fact that he was up, Victor Rodriguez, is that his name? I'm sorry. How do you say his name again?
Vito.
Vito, you guys call him Vito, but yeah, no, he was up. It was really short, but he was in Texas. He was there to fight. Yeah. He looked like he was ready, and again, like you said, it looked like in the end they were both ready to give us a show, and it was a lot of disappointment by both guys. And I'm sure Jesse will have them both back again. I'd like to see them run that one again.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the next one was a little bit similar. It was Regina.
Right, another emotional one.
Yeah, Elisa, and these ladies were going at it. I know that Regina, she's tough. She's always had some great fights, but this other girl, Elisa, I've never seen her before, but I mean, she was holding her own. She was. I didn't think she was gonna. I don't want to say not have a chance, but I thought Regina's skill and the fact that she's been there. I mean, granted, she's a mom. I'm not saying she's old because I'm old. She's older. She's more of a veteran. As we get older, we got to use a lot more of this, rather than
doing it for a long time and consistently. I mean, like hitting a lot of tournaments every year for the past 30 years, so she's definitely, given her body to the sport. She's definitely given the sport her all, and we're real thankful for competitors like her, because those are the type of people that, they create the sport. What a match. I believe that the story was that Alyssa beat Regina the last time they fought. So I think that was the fuel that they were both riding on. I don't know what their, what it was before that. I know that Alyssa was the underdog to a lot of people, but I do believe that Alyssa had beaten her the last time they fought. And so maybe this was, to settle the score. And wow, I mean, they both fought hard. I don't think that there was any malicious intent or anyone trying to hurt each other in this match either. Everything was very, very clean. But again, an early stoppage because of injury, due to injury, this time from a punch. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I was gonna say this was a punch to the head, right? So she kind of carved. That's a tough one. I mean, the judges didn't want to call it. I don't know if it's because they're like, hey, we don't want to, not look tough. But I mean, it was to the head, and obviously she got rocked. What was interesting that the other one, I believe Vito was up, right, 2-1. So that way he got the win when he could not continue. Correct?
Yeah, I don't recall. I think so. Definitely, Willie couldn't continue. Alyssa couldn't continue. But here's the thing. Here's another thing that I knew they would have to call that fight. Because when I think she got knocked out cold, it looked like she was out cold. When you get knocked out, and we're talking, these are the pros now. When you get knocked out, you can't get up and start fighting again. This is not, like, back in the Midwest circuit when I was a teenager, that folks get knocked out a couple times, get back up, finish the fight. There's none of that anymore. And so very professional and very safe decision to make, because you never know what's going on when somebody takes a head injury. You don't know what state they're in. So it was absolutely the right call to make. It was a call that I've seen at a lot of karate tournaments. They don't make the right call. Say, "Oh, you feel okay? Okay, go back out there," and then the person doesn't remember the fight. She's a young champion, and she's got a lot of fights ahead of her, and we need to protect our fighters. And I'm glad that they protected her, and also acknowledge that Regina didn't throw a malicious technique. But that's a tough one. That's a tough one to decide.
I thought it was interesting that
right.
I thought it was interesting that she took the win, but yet at that time when they discontinued the match, Regina was down. I wonder how she feels about that as a competitor. I know me. Yeah. I don't know if I would have. I'm not talking for Regina, and I'm not saying that she feel exactly like how I would feel. But if I won because of that, and at the time the score I was down, I wouldn't be happy with that win. I would want to run it back again.
Yeah, I'm sure she does. And both of them, again, emotional after the match. Regina came on and talked about her life as a fighter, and then her life as a mother, and how she was making a transition into her next phase in terms of spending more time with her family and all that. She got very emotional, but it's tough. It's tough to make that decision. I've been trying to retire for like the past 10 years, but I just can't do it. And I see why my dad still talks about doing it. It's something that we love, and I see her, again, overwhelmed with emotion. She prepared. I'm sure she really worked hard for that fight and probably wanted it to end differently. But she should be proud of her performance. Alyssa should be proud of her performance. She came on afterwards and because she wanted to speak, and that was awesome to hear from her afterwards, to know she was okay and that she'll be back. But yeah, she was winning, and she was by one, I believe. I think that that's a rule in the future that they'll probably have more it'll be more concrete, like in the pro point. If you knock somebody out, you're disqualified no matter what. They take on the rule like in kickboxing, where you're responsible for your weapon. But in point fighting, it's usually, if we have a controlled technique, if a person ran in, if a person didn't block, it's still kind of like a little gray area that we have in point fighting when there's an accident and the person gets injured. And where do we draw the line? It's just something we're gonna figure out and grow with. But I mean, they were both awesome. I'm sure they both want a rematch.
It'd be a fine line though, because if you allow it and you start getting people that don't throw, let's say, a wind-up punch, but just a straight Kevin Thompson down the middle, down to your chin. But it wasn't vicious. It was clean. And then they're on the floor. Yeah. I just think that, they're definitely going to want to take a look at this one, because I think it's going to start to look a lot more like continuous point sparring, more like a full contact point sparring. Not quite kickboxing, because you break the action, but kind of. You know what I mean?
In my dad's karate school, there were no reverse punches to the head. We weren't allowed to do any reverse punches to the head. And the reason is that's such a difficult move to control. And easily you can just throw the punch straight and not try to put any power into it. And, a person coming in, you got the chin or something like that. It's very difficult to control. So maybe that'll be something in the future. Maybe they'll take out the reverse punch to the head. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I definitely agree. They're going to have to probably come up with something with that, because if not, I could see later on where maybe I'm down. Maybe I just throw just one clean punch to this dude's chin, and if he doesn't get up, hey, I'll take the win.
It does help having the gloves where you can't close your hand all the way. So with the
Hello?
Yep, there you are.
Sorry.
You see me? That's okay. Having the gloves where you can't close the hand all the way helps you control. You know, when you have the open finger gloves where you can make a fist, then you know you can really hit a lot harder. But with the gloves where you know the bigger gloves, I think that helps a lot. You know, at least it seems rare that people are getting knocked out. You know, in our sport these days.
Hey, so real quick, the last fight was Cameron Dawson against Chance Turner.
Yeah.
I think everybody had Cam winning this one, but I don't think. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm saying it was an interesting fight. It was an interesting fight. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think people thought that Chance was gonna keep it this exciting and keep it this close. You know, I've liked Chance for a long time. I think he's very athletic. He's a good fighter. I think that he does make some technical mistakes. I think if he cleaned up and would just do things a little bit more technical, because he's so athletic and so fast, I think he could be so much better. Now, I'm not taking nothing away from him and saying that he's not good, but I think he could even be better than what he is now. And I think he makes a lot of mistakes and he gives people a lot of opportunities. Now, saying that, I thought Cameron didn't come and bring his A game. I don't know if it's because maybe COVID, he hasn't competed in a while, hasn't had training partners, but he looked a little bit off. But even so, that's a mark of a champion and someone that's really good, is that you have a bad day, but you still pull off the win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did they say he was 260? Was he 260 pounds? Was that correct?
That's what they say, man. But
okay.
he you know, he does look like he's been filling out a little bit, but I know he's also muscular. You know,
he's muscular. Yeah, he's ripped, man.
Yeah, you know, muscle weighs a lot more than fat. And
yeah,
so his dad was up there probably in the threes, and he was quick.
Yes, he was.
It's tough to tell because he's quick and he hits solid, just like his dad. I think he might be a little bit more solid. So Cam's a scary fighter, and I got to give Chance props. He got it. He wasn't afraid to fight him. He stepped up. He has a newborn, so he's got a lot of other things going around. And the fact that he went in there and wanted to do it, that was great. Cameron, you know, he showed again why he's a champion, why he comes from that lineage. He had to travel. He went over there. He hasn't, I haven't seen him compete. Shoot, I don't know, since January, February.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously he's got to be training on his own. So I felt that his timing was off. He had a little bit of ring rust, but again, he did enough to win. That's what champions do. And it was, I think it was a great way to finish the show for sure.
Absolutely. I felt that Chance was going to be ready and put up a really good fight. Only because, you know, I've been watching Chance for a long time also. And I think he's around my brother Larry's age, and they were competing together as juniors. And, you know, I've kind of watched him develop over the years, and I knew that he had what it takes. I mean, he could make the fight competitive and even win the fight. I think that he had a chance of winning the fight. I think that what you hit it right on the head. You know, we talk about, you know, being a fighter, your composure. You know, we talked about that, whether you're fighting in the street or you're fighting, you know, on the phone, or you're fighting in the ring. You know, who comes out on top when you got two talented fighters? You got two fighters that are fast and technically sound, and you know, maybe even Chance had a little edge on the speed because he was lighter. It seemed like, you know, he was using that to his advantage. He's using speed to his advantage. Cam got crafty at the end. He was craftier. And then once he got on a roll, it was just, you know, it was a close fight all the way through until the end. You know, it's kind of like, well, Chance is in the position where he has to try to catch up, and Cam is, you know, protecting the lead and catching him on the way in. So it made the win a little bit greater than probably it looked, but it was close the whole time through. I think that Cam looked relaxed the whole fight. So no matter, even if he was off a little bit, if he wasn't what we're used to seeing in him, and I thought 260 is heavy, and it takes, you know, it takes a person. It changes your fight the more weight you get. I remember I gained a whole bunch of weight all at once, and it totally changed my fight. And people want gains and all that stuff, and I look at it differently now. At 40, I'm like, no, I need to get lighter because I feel, you know, more like myself. So you go through those different stages in life, and depending what age you are, your body changes, and you figure out what's your best weight and all that, and he'll figure that out. But he looks strong. I'm sure even at 300 pounds, he would still be awesome. You know, but he looked relaxed, even when the fight was close. And that's where, you know, a person makes mistakes when they're not relaxed, when they get a little anxious. So Chance, you know, he called Cam out. He wanted that fight. And so he had, you know, something to go in there and prove, and he was ready. But, you know, Cam felt like he was the champion, and he's being challenged, and he carried himself like that. It was like Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, you know, where he said, he's so composed. He's so composed because that's what the champion does. They make it look easy, and they keep that calm demeanor so that they can stay in a natural flow and not mess things up, you know, by getting anxious or emotional or too excited. They just, you know, it's a restful alertness, you know, and it's a zone. It's a zone. So I think that he won in the end because he was composed. He felt like he was going to win the whole time, even if he was down by one or up by one. There was no new excitement for him. There was new excitement for Chance because this is a big opportunity to dethrone a fighter who I think went undefeated like a couple years ago or last year, something like that. You know, the new man, you know, in the heavyweight division, and you know, Chance was awesome. He probably just got a little bit anxious at the end, and that's where you saw Cam come out on top and not make the mistakes, you know?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. Emotionless. I think that's the one thing that people got to learn about karate, making decisions in life, even. I think when you're driven by emotions, it's almost like someone that's driving drunk. I feel like
yes,
alcohol, you don't realize that you're maybe not thinking or rationalizing the same. So you'd make decisions that you normally wouldn't make if you were sober. I feel it's exactly the same when you're emotional. I think that if you're mad, you're going to get aggressive. You're not going to think tactical. You're not going to think smart. And I feel that whoever can hold their composure regardless. And I mean, you train that in the gym. You got to put yourself under these high pressure situations and fight that guy that likes to hit you late, that likes to hit you hard, and know how to deal with it. And people that get in your face and know how to deal with it. And I think, you know, you hit the nail on the head. We talked about earlier about other situations, politics, this, that. Whenever there's emotions involved, I already think that you're going to make a bad decision. And I think fighting is the same thing. And I think the difference that you see between the upper echelon and the elite is, like you said, they make it look easy. And that's because they're just reacting. They're not thinking. They're not fueling off their emotions. They're fueling off what they've been training. And that's just the technical merit, period. So, hey, besides that day, we also had UFC. We're just going to talk about those two fights. I mentioned earlier Whitaker and Cannonier. I already mentioned how he broke his arm. We know that Robert Whitaker ended up winning the fight. I thought he looked really good. He looked really light, worked the jab really good.
Yeah.
Was in the ring. I was actually surprised. I had Cannonier winning. This guy's a heavyweight that came down all the way to middleweight. And I mean, knocking people out. Kind of reminds me of like a Rashad. Rashad used to be heavyweight, and then he dropped all the way down to light heavyweight, but he couldn't take out John Jones. But I thought Cannonier was going to take this. But, man, Robert Whitaker stepped up. and I think he
Yeah.
liked the 3-round fight. He said he was motivated. You could tell the last time he fought, he wasn't motivated. But saying that, they want to make him fight Adesanya. I don't
Yeah.
think he's ready for him yet, man. I don't
No.
know who's ready for Adesanya.
I don't know. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Who's ready for him? You know, who's ready for him? There's definitely there are definitely some players in the arena that are far ahead of the rest, and it'll be like that sometimes. And you know, whenever it switches generations, it'll be like that sometimes.
They need to get him and John. John has nobody in his division. Adesanya, I mean, he's already cleared out who I thought was the best guy. I thought the other guy that just fought him, help me out. Who was the guy that just fought Adesanya? Baratinha.
Okay.
What's his name?
Sure.
The Brazilian dude. I thought that guy was going to give him a good fight. He wrecked him.
Yeah, with the leg kicks. He kept lighting him up with the leg kicks.
So, yeah, and then he finally finished him. I didn't even think he was going to finish him. I mean, Romero couldn't even finish him. So I think those two guys should honestly fight because Robert is ready. I think Robert's going to get
him. That's tough.
The first time. So, I mean, but that fight was a good fight. I was actually impressed. And who knows, maybe he'll impress me again and do it again. But I just don't think he's going to do it Adesanya. That's just.
I mean, you think Israel Adesanya is ready for John Jones, though? Because John Jones, again, he's like a different. I mean, he's. I think he's too strong. I think that it's dangerous. I think it's like when Roy Jones said that, you know, after he won the heavyweight championship, that he would fight Mike Tyson, but he said he wouldn't fight Lennox Lewis because Lennox Lewis is too big. And there is something in that. Not to say he's not tough, he's not a fighter, not that he won't do it, but when John Jones takes a hit and Israel Adesanya takes a hit, there's a difference in you know, material value, the structural value, you know, because John Jones is a seasoned heavyweight pretty much. You know, he's a giant. This guy, he probably could have played NBA basketball, or, you know, he's one of those guys. He's just physically, he has such an advantage, whereas Israel is technically more sound. He's actually probably got the higher level of skill as a martial artist, but can his body take clashing with John Jones? I don't know. I don't know.
I think stand-up wise, I think he's better technically, Israel, but I think John Jones all around is better, because if you remember when he fought against Daniel Cormier, how he out-wrestled him. He out-wrestled the wrestler. And Daniel Cormier came down from heavyweight, and John was throwing him around like he was the bigger dude, and he was not looking like the bigger dude for sure. So I would have to say I agree with you on that stint. But again, I think once you start getting guys that skilled and that technical, you know, you're like a point fighter. You got to know what you're good at, and you got to take your time, and you got to kind of go in there and slowly mix it up and stay up in the air, land your shots, maybe land the leg kicks on John a lot, kind of slow him down, make him less active. So that way, if his legs are worn down, he'll have less power in his punches, and then he'll just be a target. But again, it's easier said than done. John's a hard guy to fight. I mean, he knows how to block. He knows how to do. Knows how to grab. So I would just like to see the fight as a spectator, because I think that's the one they need to put together. And obviously, the other fight that they had that night was Khabib and Justin. What did you think about that match? And is that the way you thought it was going to go?
Yeah, I mean, Khabib, Nurmagomedov. Did I say it right? Nurmagomedov. Habib Nurmagomedov.
Let's see if I could say it.
Yes.
I thought it was Namagadeo or something, but see, man, I feel bad for anybody that's got to say his name.
Yeah, I just listen to people say and try to, because you know, hey,
what's his name that says it? Who's the commentator?
I don't know the name of the commentator, but I was copying his. He sounded like he knew what he was talking about. Was that?
Bruce Buffer? It's Bruce, right? Because the other one's Michael Buffer.
Oh yeah. No, it was a different person. I was listening. I was listening to, and you sound, when you roll off somebody's name and you're smooth with it, you sound confident, like you're saying it right. You're not, and other people, they say it choppy, like I just did, and that we're struggling to learn it. And a beautiful name, just like people mess up my name, because it's a beautiful name, and we have to appreciate it. Khabib Nurmagomedov, I believe that's it. Yeah, I mean, he's on a different planet as far as, I mean, nobody's been able to figure him out. He's like a Mayweather, where he's just like, it's him and nobody else is there yet. Nobody else is there yet. And he was 28-0 before he went in there. He's 29-0 now. He almost won in the first round, and then he ended up winning in the second round. They haven't found one yet that can outperform him. And then he retired. I don't know how if that'll be, a lot of times, like we talk about, when we get emotional and when we're at a certain part in our lives and we feel like we have to go in another direction or switch gears. We have to do that. But it doesn't mean that in the future we don't find our way back. So, I believe him. I believe that he's sincere. It's very difficult for him to have this experience without his father. But I saw Michael Jordan go through something similar. And sometimes you just need time to process things and to mourn properly, and there's a lot that you miss when you're constantly getting ready for the big show. And he's put a lot of his time into that since he was a little kid, and now maybe he wants to smell the flowers and taste the rainbow a little bit, so I don't know if he'll be gone for good, but I wish him well. He's awesome. He's the undefeated champion. Justin Gaethje, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He was the interim champion. They showed that day who was the real champion. And where do they go from there? I don't know.
He definitely surprised me against Tony Ferguson. We already know that match was never going to happen between him and Khabib. I mean, they tried 5 or 6 times and they just keep getting canceled. Then Justin Gaethje stepped in, and I thought for sure Tony was going to take him out. But man, he fought very smart. Justin tends to fight a little bit crazy and wild, and he kind of settled in with Tony and picked his shots and was really technical. With
4 knockouts, right? His last 4 fights were all knockouts.
Yes, and with Khabib, I just feel like that guy's got a chin. I mean, he took a couple of Justin's shots. He got hit with some good shots, and then once I realized that he could take it, he just kept walking. I smashed this guy. This guy is, that's his attitude. He just keeps coming forward. He just mauls people, and I mean, a couple interesting stories. One, I don't know if you saw for weigh-in, they were showing that he was kind of holding on to the towel a little bit, kind of like a la Daniel Cormier. So I know that he struggles making that 155 weight, and he looks pretty big for 155. I don't know how he makes it, but that was one of the controversies I know that I saw. But an interesting thing that Justin Gaethje actually was fighting him, and I heard that he joined Khabib to help actually lose the weight to make the weight. So that shows you what kind of guy he is that he was doing everything to help this guy make the weight, because if he doesn't make the weight, the title's not on the line, which I thought
would happen, right? Yeah.
Which is pretty cool of him. I mean, who does that? I mean, that's pretty telling of what type of guy and character he has. I mean, now what do you talk about? Well, who's going to fight for lightweight? You got a lot of great guys. You got Conor, you got Gaethje, you got Dustin Poirier. There's a lot of great guys. And they also got the guy from Bellator, Michael Chandler, that just came over there. So it'd be very interesting to see who they get to fight. Khabib said that he promised to his mom that he would not fight anymore. And I think that that's going to be the big thing, that why he won't do it. He doesn't do it. If he does do it, though, I heard he was going to fight GSP, and I was looking forward to seeing that one
What?
because I think that GSP is really good on the ground, and I'd like to see
Yeah.
how he would handle his pressure. But that's the one. Habib's pressure is just, and I mean, he could do that for 5 rounds straight. And the only person that I saw do decent with him, and he kind of stepped in last minute, was Al Iaquinta, which is from over there in New York. Shoot, the guy that beat Anderson Silva, I can't think of him right now, but he's out there from that gym, and he's stuck all 5 rounds, and he's a great jiu-jitsu guy. He's the only guy that I saw kind of survive all 5 rounds, but yeah, he's a tough guy to handle. Habib.
He came up in the environment, like you talked about that earlier. He came up in, you know, whatever people call the old school. He came up like that. He came up as and you can see it in his in the way he handles himself as a person. That his martial arts is a reflection of who he is. You know what I mean? And you can tell that's had an amazing impact on him as a person, and his character is you know, he's really demonstrated character in a way that you don't see a lot of UFC fighters. You know, there's no other fighter like him in that respect. He's you know, he's a likable person. It's kind of like, yo, he's refreshing. It's refreshing to see somebody like him. But you can tell that it's been a big part of his life. He jumped over that fence at Conor McGregor's people, and he said he was afraid that his dad was going to smash him. You know.
You know that when he fought Dustin Poirier, he actually, I believe, gave him $1 million to help with some kind of cause that Dustin was behind, helping some misfortunate people.
Yeah.
And back heard about it and gave, I believe, $1 million of his purse. Shows you what type of guy he is inside and outside. The only time you ever saw him get was with Conor, and I could see why. Conor did some pretty stupid stuff, and the way he did the tactics, I'm surprised he didn't do even worse. And I also like to see him and Daniel Cormier. They make me laugh all the time. Watch those guys and their dynamics together. He's going to be missed. It was great weekends of fights. If you guys missed UFC, you guys missed Virtual Fight Tour. You guys missed some good stuff. And you know, it was fun talking with you again today.
This was great,
man.
Yeah, I think that, you know, I'm glad we talked about everything today. Today was our everything day, and how we were able to connect, you know, what we love the most with everyday life. And, you know, yeah, you want to be strong, you want to be tough, you want to be a fighter. You know, look at guys like Habib, or, you know, Justin Gaethje, who, you know, he's like, man, these guys are fighters and they're helping each other out and all that. That's what fighters do. I mean, we have our little rivalries every now and then, but fighters, we're pretty, you know, we want to see each other thrive. We want something good for all of us. And I think that's been something great that I've taken away from martial arts. And, you know, I know what it really means to be strong. You know, forms guys, man, those guys fight each other a lot. Those guys have rivalries that are way deeper than point fighters. Forms guys, man, they'd be going at each other, man, cursing each other out. And they got grudges, and, you know, they don't talk to each other. You know, I'm right. You know, I'm right. They won't talk to each other forever, you know. But point fighters, we're like, you know, man.
Oh, sorry guys.
Good punch. We're the only ones who say good punch. Good punch.
Exactly. Hey, man. You know, I got a lot of respect for you. I mean, we know we used to always battle, and that's the thing, is that how can you not respect someone when you know after you fought that person, win or lose, you tell yourself about, man, I got to go back and I got to work on this and work on that, and it's because of the person I just fought. It's because of the challenges they just gave me. It's hard not to respect that person, because ultimately that person is also helping me, and they're part of my journey and my betterment of myself.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, again, I definitely agree with you, fighters. And I think I'd like to see more of that, the respect factor, and people just treat, you don't have to sit there and hype it up. I mean, you can, but you do it in a respectful way. You shake hands when it's time to do that, but you can talk smack, but not bring people's families into it, religion. You know, you want to sit there and make fun of someone and do it in a respectful way, or find a way, you know, just call somebody out. Hey, I
Yeah.
want to fight that guy. That's enough. I mean, but I don't think you got to do it in a disrespectful way. I think if you got talent, that guy's got talent, people are going to want to see it. You know what I mean? And I
Right.
think
Yeah.
being martial artists, that's the thing that we should always follow by, inside and outside. And you know, people are going to copy us. So you might fight a certain way, but then your attitude might reflect something totally different. You know what I mean? So I agree
Right.
with you. You gotta be through and through, no matter with what you do. So hey,
Yeah.
Jay, it was fun. Next weekend, I believe we got some of
Thank
your we got some of your friends next week. Don't we have your sponsors? I'm hearing.
Next week, I believe we're gonna have the pleasure. We're gonna be blessed with Sue and Rick Diaz, Rick and Sue, whoever wants to be first. They love each other. They're one of the power couples of the martial arts industry. They are awesome. They are awesome, and they work so hard for the thing that they love. They love martial. They both love martial arts so much, and they're great people. So we're going to be blessed with their presence, and they're going to talk about the event they have coming up. And there's something special. There's a special challenge for the fighters that they have in mind that they want to share with us. So can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. We'll talk more about that next week. And again, thanks for all those that have joined us today. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the show. This today was a little bit more freestyle. We talked about kind of what went on. Next week, we'll be talking, like we said, to Rick and Sue about their event and all the other cool things. So, looking forward to that. And again, Jason, thank you for sharing some camera time with me and
Thank you, Mike Palmiero.
sharing some knowledge. So, you have yourself a good night, sir, and we'll see you next week.
You too. Close. Close. Thank you.